Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the podcast where we know there's no right or wrong, only a perception. Thank you guys for tuning in. We did get a couple new subscribers or whatever, so we really enjoyed that. With no further ado, let's just get into the topic. So today we are definitely going to talk about today, okay, so I got the notes in my phone, y'all, okay, so today, the topic is, make sure you guys catch this, open your ears and listen, okay? No, I'm just playing. So processing life with people and knowing how they treat you have nothing to do with you. I feel like that is a hard pill to swallow, because sometimes, we try... I think we be too overly selfish with people. Everything is literally not about us. How people treat us, we need to get that clear to our head. It's not about us. They're not treating us this way because we did something. You get what I'm saying? Either it's a trigger or it's deflection. So I want everybody to make a conscious decision. We are just going to be good people. It doesn't matter if another person treats you wrong or another person do something you would have never done to them. That tells you nothing about you and everything about them. And a lot of people nowadays, therapy is a thing, but a lot of people are still not getting the help that they need. Or learning by themselves how to cope, and then looking for additional information. So my experience with processing life with people, which are humans, they are humans, people make mistakes. We pretty much act based on how our past is, if that makes sense. So depending on what we've been through, people react to situations differently, right? So you have a person from the hood and a person from the suburbs. You can't talk too much stuff about a person from the hood and they're not going to feel attacked. Versus the suburb, they take it as a joke. Your mom, she's my dad's the other day. You know what I'm saying? But that's something you wouldn't say to a hood person, But based on what we've been through, his mom probably, you know what I'm saying? Probably did go through a time where people were saying that just because, it's an insecurity of his. So people base their actions off insecurities from their past. Maybe it's a trigger, whether it's being yelled or being told what to do, or everybody have their own reasons to react into situations, how they react to them, right? So if you could honestly just float through life and just be okay, I'm taking full responsibility for my actions and I'm trying to be a better person. So even with that thought in your head, you're going to go through life, what can I do better? You're going to be more conscious, how to say it? I don't even know how to say it. But more, that thought going to run back, that wasn't right. And then it's a difference from you thinking oh, well, I could have did that differently, from you honestly being hurt by your own actions. I think everybody should take a step back and just look at life. The wind is blowing so hard, but anyway, sorry. Everybody should take a step back and honestly think am I being perceived how I want to be perceived? If I think I'm not the only person who should think I'm a great person, even though other people's opinions doesn't matter. But if you have a whole bunch of people telling you the same thing, please take heed. Please take heed. Only take advice from people you know that they have nothing to gain. I think that's important. And if that makes sense. I don't know if the stuff I be saying makes sense, but follow. So if a person just coming at you genuinely and be hey, I see an issue, I see a pattern, I love you, I think you're greater than this, I want you to work on it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, pause. I was talking to this guy at work. It's always a story. So I was talking to this guy at work. He was married for umpteen years or whatever the case was. And it was so crazy because he didn't pay attention to his wife. And I don't want to be misogynistic or whatever, but whatever. because I communicate with men. I be wanting to know like what be going on in their noggin. So he didn't know his wife's favorite color. He didn't. I was like, what does she like to do or what? I think her birthday was coming up. But mind you, he asked me, do I have any single friends? Way before I knew he was married. So that was a thing. So, not to tell people business, he'll probably never see it. But basically, he asked me, do I have any single friends? One strike. No, I don't. We work at the same place. Who would I recommend you to? You know what I'm saying? I'm confused. But second, he was saying he don't know his wife. Second, he's like a heavier set guy or whatever. So then he was just like, basically, like, I don't know. He was a little heavy set. He wasn't helping this one out. He wasn't doing nothing. He didn't even know how to take care of her, whatever the case is. And I started telling him like, hey, you should read this book. And that was so crazy to me because how he was receiving the information, like he really listened to me. And it's like, but I'm pretty sure women, we all do the same thing pretty much. Like, okay, we all want the same stuff. But I'm pretty sure she had told him like before. And it just sickened me a little bit because she know you the best. Like your friends, your family, your significant other, or people who are consistently around you. Like they kind of see your faults or see areas of improvement. And if you are with somebody and you know that they have like all the intentions for you to be amazing. And men don't listen to women that they're with. Women don't listen to men that they're with. But we just need to come up with a more like love approach. I think that would be amazing if we could do that. Because it's sad. Yeah, it's sad. But back to processing life and knowing how like they treat you, it's just like mirroring how they treat themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact, like if a person just like, I'm outside and a person does like something rude to me, like how mad could you have been walking around all fucking day and just trying to give that negative energy to somebody? I'm not gonna let you have control over me like that. So I'm just gonna ignore you. I'm like, bitch, you got me fucked up, and then ignore you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go too much into, oh, why'd they do that? I'm not gonna take it personal because I know, like, for you to treat like a good person or a person who's minding their business, not doing anything wrong to you, you have to be like so miserable. And I just feel bad for people because I know it wasn't because like I didn't see them when I was backing up and they nothing like that never happened. But like, you know how people get mad when you like backing up to the car and stuff? Like, you know? Yeah, so like something like that, like me almost hitting your car, honestly that would make me want to be somebody else. But like me bumping into you by mistake could never just ruin your fucking day. Like if you were like operating in the most calm version of yourself, even when I think back on some times where I was just easily triggered, like I didn't know it at the time, but it's just a lot. I was processing a lot. So anything that I could get like a release on, or I was releasing to other people, the things that I didn't understand about myself. So if we could just like operate through life just knowing like we're gonna be hurt, we're gonna be sad, and sometimes it takes like a strong person to not put that on anybody else. And it takes a strong minded person to honestly switch their thoughts around and think better thoughts and like be like, okay, well, I know I have to walk, I know I have to do this, I know I have to do this so I can feel good again, and then I'll come back to that situation if needed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? I hope y'all feel me. Let me know in the comments whether y'all feel me. But that's my personal experience. Back to the story. Like, and I was just like, you don't probably listen to your wife. She probably said the same thing, but how you're receiving it from me, whether she's doing it out of anger, like communication. And one thing I've learned about like communication and just like, sorry, I be trying to stay on topic. Knowing how people treat you have nothing to do with you personally. It's just like, you have to learn healthy communication skills. And I still fight with it, like, every day. But instead, when somebody says something I don't like, I go into defense mode really quick. I don't know. I do know. I had to search and go back and be like, why do I always feel attacked? Like, when somebody says something I don't like, why do I always feel attacked? Like, nobody's attacking me. And if I'm selective with the people like with the people that surround me, like I'm choosing my own surroundings. Why don't I trust them? Why am I not choosing people that I trust to be surrounded by? So that makes me question my intentions and like, what am I using them for? You know what I'm saying? That's like a person who feels like they hang around people below them. You know what I'm saying? What do you like, being the smartest one in the room? Do you like having like that teacher aspect, or like I know more than you aspect? Like if that's what you like, cool. It's just not necessarily healthy. But healthy communications, like I do find myself apologizing a lot more. Cause you know what? Like in my head, this is the fucked up part. This is the fucked up part. Like say for instance, we was talking about like how people treat you has nothing to do with you. So if I'm in a grocery store and I bump into somebody and they get angry, this never happened to me before, but I would do it. If they get angry, or if I could just sense on their face like they're a little agitated that I bumped into them by mistake, I would just apologize. And I'm not apologizing and I'm not saying it to where they can like identify it. I would say it like genuinely, because I'm mad that I triggered you and you're going through some stuff. I understand that I'm human as well. I don't think you should put that on me. So I would say sorry. I would just be like, but that's coming from like more so like heartfelt place. Like, I'm sorry, however you're feeling, I would smile. Like I would give them good energy back. That's the thing. Like whenever somebody try to like bring you like negative energy, just give them good energy back. It'll like balance it. Like, cause I know when I'm mad, and I'm like just acting crazy, like that balance it. Like that's why, like, sorry, but negative people love positive people. Like, you so negative, why would you want to be around me? But they're not saying it, but it's just more so like a feeling. Like every time I'm frustrated, like this person always got something positive to say and it's coming from the heart, so you feel it here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I'm telling. Sometimes how people treat you has nothing to do with you. Even if somebody lied to you, they be most of the time lying to themselves. If somebody cheat on you, every day they wake up knowing they could be a better person, but subconsciously they just don't want to. They find it too complicated, too hard. So initially they're cheating themselves every day. If somebody do something, F your man, F your woman, or just be like do some spiteful stuff, like you can literally, like once you learn how to like have more self-control and not think about what's in front of you, but think about it behind. Like if I have like a dispute with somebody, or does somebody do something I don't like, and then say for instance, you're not behaving to go deep, but say for instance, if a person got mad at me because I wasn't giving them whatever they want, I would honestly sit back and identify why that is so important to them. You get what I'm saying? That makes sense. I will identify what's important to them. Why is it so important to them? Like me answering your call, why is that so important to you? Like me seeing you frequently, why is that so important to you? Me doing this, why is that so important to you? And if it's coming from a place of trauma, like that don't got nothing to do with me. I'm sorry. But if that's like honestly like something that you crave and you need without the trauma, like you didn't heal from your trauma, that I'm willing to participate or engage, or at least be an open ear and an open heart to why you need that, versus like it's strictly coming from trauma. Because I know even if you have not figured that out, like if you just willing to carry that backpack on your shoulder and not try to figure out like, oh, why do I need this from this person? Why do I need that? Why do I require so much attention? And that's something I do too. I'm very like, I don't know, I just like to talk. I do. But I will find out, why are they treating me like that? I would want to know more about them, so I can identify whether it's coming from like a place of hurt, or a place of like trauma, or a place where it's something where they just feel safer in, and they already figured out their trauma, they working on it, and this just make them feel safe, versus strictly coming from a place of trauma, because you can't trust that. You can't trust it. They really, or people who haven't even identified their needs, like they don't know. And I can say I'm working on that too, because I don't clearly know how to communicate what I need from people besides like superficial shit. Yikes. But yeah, so processing life with people And knowing how they treat you has nothing to do with you most of the time. We'll say most of the time. Because sometimes it do be you. Now I'm just playing. But I think that's pretty much it. Knowing sometimes people just shitty people. If they shitty to you, they probably shitty to themselves. Especially if they don't know you and they just want to like me mug you or do something like that. It has nothing to do with you. They're just having a hard time and don't know how to communicate it. So the most thing you could do as a stranger, you know what I'm saying? You know, we come with the solutions. The most thing you could do as a stranger is like give them grace to be pissed off for that day. I think that's the best way that you can internalize it. Like, let's just let them be pissed off today. I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, excuse me, I didn't see you there. Oh my gosh, yes. And I'm gonna like try to revert their energy a little bit, because that's important. Us as people, we need to do that for each other. Revert their energy, first step. Second, just let them fucking have their bad day. But don't let them have their bad day, then you go off that bad. You at Walmart, you bump into somebody by mistake. Now, they pissed off, they treating you away, so you pissed off. You take your groceries home, your kids ain't help with your groceries. Now you yelling at them. And now your girlfriend wondering why you yelling at the kids. Now the dog pissed off because you don't want to let the dog outside. Like, it just go like that, you know? It literally goes like that. So just stop them in their tracks. Give them grace, give them love, and understand like you ain't do nothing wrong. I.e. not the narcissist. They'll forever tell you they didn't do some shit wrong when they know they did some shit wrong. And how do we establish that who's wrong or right? Everything is a perception, first of all. Ain't nobody wrong, but you have some people who try to twist your reality. So we'll have an episode on like narcissist traits and like how we feel about them. So maybe we can tell y'all, even if you was a narcissist, we won't say that, but like, yeah, energy goes on like that. Like energy is definitely like something that's transferred. So you just want to make sure you're transferring as much positive energy, because it's gonna come back, you know. Because if you have a good day, you wake up, you know, make sure you have a good day. You go to work saying hi to everybody. Like, oh my gosh, she's so happy. She's such a bright light. Like, let's do that. All peace, love, and care. We're gonna tell, like, just keep it going. Keep it going. That's how we're gonna make the world a better place. Understanding, letting people be upset, knowing it has nothing to do with you. Don't take it personal. See how you can help. If you can't help, try to mentally, like, turn their energy into positive. Like, if you bump into somebody, just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but I love your shoes. That's why I did it. Like, that to make somebody laugh, like, try to compliment them, try to, like, make them feel good. I think that's, like, the best reverse thing. Like, so if somebody arguing with you, you could just be like, oh my gosh, so you're not doing this enough. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, you don't do this, be like, well, I love it when you do this and I love it when you do that. I have no complaints. But if you want me to, I'll do better at it. I think that's just what it is. And then right then and there, you will establish, like, does that person have a problem with me or a problem with them? Because sometimes, say for instance, if you arguing with your friend, she's like, oh my gosh, you did A, B, C, and D to hurt my feelings. And you just be like, okay, well, I didn't mean to come across like that. Like, that wasn't my intention. And I apologize, not for how you feel. Don't say that, that's annoying. But I apologize, and I'll try to be definitely more mindful. Don't say I'll try to be, like, you know what you're doing, everybody gone. So I'll be more mindful. And I didn't mean to come across that way, so I'll do better. And then if they come with another issue after that, then you know there's something else going on. That's when you should throw your hands up and go mind your business. Yeah, that was a quick episode. So yeah, most of the time people, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people don't want to solve issues. People have a hard time solving issues. And I'm like realizing that, like, I'm so solution based. You know what I'm saying? If I can't solve it within 5 minutes, I'm okay with not solving it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the time to solve it. Like, that's just what I'm gonna feel like. And when the solution presents itself to me, then I'll be okay. Like, some people don't handle that. Even in friendships, like, you would try to give somebody advice or tell them, like, hey, this is how you can handle this better. Like, and they'll be like, and then you go from where, like, hey, I take initiative or I'll solve the problem for you, and they still have so many complaints. They're not looking for it to be fixed. They kind of just want to be in a fucked up mood and telling you to talk to them later, because you don't want that. But I guess that's all I got to say. And I think processing life, I think that's like important to know, because how we process life is different. Like we could have like, you ever kind of like argue with somebody and then talked about it maybe like 2 months down the line, and y'all have like two different, like y'all didn't even have the same conversation in y'all head. Like literally, like everything is a perception, like how you perceive stuff. And most of the time people perceive stuff based on what they've been through. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing that, it's just like amazing. So that's how you just shrug stuff off. But don't, that's why I'm not saying like avoid people and how they feel. Even though y'all may have two different backgrounds, you can still connect with people, but y'all have to be on like, it's okay to understand. It's okay, like if you love that person enough, just meet them halfway. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't know. Yep, and that's it. But I don't know, I guess you guys could leave your comments or questions or stories down. You definitely, we're gonna start doing the like little story time. We don't have a big enough, watch my words, we don't have a big enough fan base yet, but we do have an email. It's called youaintwrongpodcast@gmail.com, where you can send us all of your stories and comments, and even if it's too long for the comments and maybe you don't want to leave it in the comment, just to reach out. We're all here to help and just like try to heal together. Or maybe like something I'm learning could speak to, or maybe I explained it wrong. I want to know all of that. I think, yeah, that's just what I'm standing on. Lil ain't here, so it's 10 toes down. But thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully that all made sense to you. Hopefully it did. But we're drinking a soda water with a shot of Tito's. Y'all know I love some Tito's, and I squeezed a little lime in there. Yep, I did. But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of You Ain't Wrong Podcast, where we know there's no wrong or right, only a perception. And make sure you guys come again.